Knicks fans, welcome back to the Garden Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with my co-host, Rick the Ruler, Regular Joe, and we got a special guest here tonight, my man Don Juan of the Knicks Fans Wilding show. How you doing, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, man. It's good to, had a little break. Haven't spoken Knicks in about, a couple of weeks. So it's good to be on the scene and whatnot, man. But thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure always. And, ready to talk Knicks, man. It's not like getting together, especially after a good season and after, kind of reflecting. We had a couple of weeks to reflect. Like, it's nice to come back and get it all together, event and do what we got to do, man.
Right. It's always good to take a little step back because if you check our takes now versus our takes right after the season ended, it's going to be completely different because it's like a lot of emotion involved. So it's always good to come back. Like, I was bugging my bad. Like I was saying some wild shit real quick. But it's been interesting to watch the playoffs and the finals ever since we were eliminated by the Miami Heat. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy Miami's there because to me it feels like, oh, all right, that's who we played. Cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't play some team that just got knocked out or swept like the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like we actually played a team that made it to the finals. So it doesn't feel as bad because they was gonna be hitting us with, oh, y'all lost to a bunch of role players. I'm like, talk that shit down.
Speak for yourself, bro. It should still feel horrible.
I know. I'm trying to make myself feel better about it. Stop. Come on, son.
You could picture yourself kind of being in the same situation and where we could actually beat the Celtics and made it to play the Nuggets because the Nuggets looked like they were the best team overall. Yeah. But it definitely hurts because the path was there for us to make it. Like, that's the way for it to be on our side and we just didn't close out.
They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for the moment, man.
Nah, and they wasn't. And that's what that was the clear, the under the bright lights, you saw what it was. You could say the same thing for the Cavs, but
exactly. We were the Cavs in that Miami series, bro.
Right.
A young team that just wasn't ready to take that next step.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since we're on the hold on, Rick, did you have anything you wanted to say real quick?
I was gonna say that there's two schools of thought that I hear about this Miami team. Like if you're a Knicks fan, one is you could root for them because if they win it all, then you can say that okay, we lost against a finals contender. And then, you have the other thoughts like, nah, we should have won because, they're 8 seed. They weren't expected to do this. They weren't expected to do that. But they've been doubted every single matchup they've had all season. And now they're in the finals. And they're still doubted. You know what I mean? So it's just like you never know what's going to happen.
Right. I don't know. Like that, I guess that, speaking of like what you said earlier about not being ready in that series versus Miami, and a lot of our listeners who, well, one in particular who kept bringing up the ankle. I guess it's only right. Shout out to Jose Garcia.
Yeah, I hope he come in here, bro.
But
I would DM him, but I'm nervous. No.
Nah, he'll be here. With bells on. I guarantee he'll be here with bells on too. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but Julius Randle had the ankle surgery that some of us believed was a real ankle injury, others didn't really believe. But if you think about it, the guy twisted. How could you
twist your ankle twice in 3 weeks and think that anything is fake? Right. Yeah, have you ever sprained your shit once? Like, imagine spraining the same one twice in 3 weeks, bro.
And he's a big dude too,
and
man.
250 pounds. Like, come on, bro.
You kidding me? That's a lot of weight. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of weight. But I mean, I was listening. Shout out to Knicks Film School. I was listening to it earlier, and the main point in there was he will be back for training camp, which clearly means that Julius Randle's not getting traded. So we can stop that trade talk now.
I never thought he was.
Right.
Never thought he was. It's a hard trade to make.
Right.
Because I feel like teams are gonna try to lowball, right? But like, you're not gonna lowball me for a guy who's 2-time All NBA and a 2-time All Star. I'm just not letting that happen.
Can't happen.
So I'd rather hold on to him.
And that's exactly what the Knicks are. Like, you're not gonna get the value you want for him if you try to trade him right now. You're just not, especially because we know why you're trading him if you try to trade him right now. So I think it would behoove you as a franchise to do as best as you can to get him back to 100%. Take advantage of the fact that Jalen Brunson will be worth this much for maybe 2 more seasons, because he's worth way more than he's worth way more than he's getting now. And use that money to go build a roster around him so that they can make some moves. I think that's just, to me, the best move you can make without shaking things up too much to where you end up losing by trying to make a big move. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just try to do too much and then mess it all up.
We've been there before.
over and over and over again.
But don't get me wrong. I trust this front office, man. They've been growing on me. I feel like they haven't really panicked. Although, like you mentioned, Apollo, like that Brunson contract is something that we got to take advantage of now. Obviously, we don't want to sell our soul and give it all up. But the player that realistically would take a package like that isn't available right now. Nobody's literally. There's no really toxic situation, unless you want to call Philly that toxic situation. But it seems like that team, at least they're gonna stick together for another year. You know what I mean? At least in terms of where they should go crazy. I mean, they probably gonna hold out and make that move next year. Maybe do some marginal now, but obviously it's a long offseason. We haven't even gotten there yet. But like realistically, I feel like they're gonna stay put. Randall is here. Randall was recruiting Brunson, man. Like, he's definitely bought in with the whole organization, and it's like that combined with the fact that we got him on a bargain as another bargain deal. Like, if anything, the person might get traded, it's probably gonna be RJ realistically.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that's the one, especially with the contract that they gave him. It just matches up to a star type of player. You just got to package him up with somebody that could boost it up. Let's say, the most obvious one not obvious, but a lot of people have been pointing at is like Zach LaVine.
God.
Well, Zach LaVine and RJ and let's say Fournier matches up perfectly to that. So I felt like that was the idea when giving RJ that contract. But
no needs, LaVine. I'm good, bro.
I'm just throwing out names. I'm not a fan of his.
I know you're not a fan of that. Nah.
I'm not a fan of that, but I do think he's underrated though. I feel like some people don't think he's really like a good player. The money is the problem and the injuries, but even the injuries, like, he has that tag, but he only missed 5 games this year. Like, he's actually. It seems like he's overcoming that.
So this is what I heard.
Peace, Dre. I didn't even see you in here, man. What's going on?
Dre, what's good, baby? This is what I heard about. This is what I heard.
Fan, I don't know what's going on out here now.
This is what I heard about Zach from my best friend is a Bulls fan, and I even read an article probably last year, and like the knee problems, or like he only missed 5 games this year, and that's great. But from what I understand, like the knee problems are legit, and he is always managing pain. That makes me nervous. Yeah, that makes me nervous. If your knee problems are chronic, like, it's one thing to hurt your knee and you come back, right? But if like you have like serious chronic knee problems where you're always doing pain management on your knees, that makes me nervous, bro. That sounds a lot like Stoudemire.
Trust me. I had knee surgery on both knees. That is something to worry about, without a doubt. Like, when you always rehabbing your knees, you never know when something can happen. You know what I'm saying? And now, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's not good. That's not my question. You know what I mean?
Good player. Obviously a good player.
At this point, if we're talking about him for RJ, like, say that's the swap, right? Obviously, he fits better in that spot than RJ because he can hit some pull-up shots. You know what I'm saying? And do some of the things, and he doesn't have to be the number 1 or number 2 guy if he's here. If Julius and Brunson is still here, so it does make it a little bit easier for him.
If you don't think knee problems are like what do you call it? I just had the word in my head, like a hazard of occupational hazard.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
sure.
chronic knees.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
blown.
It's
He's
not-
blown.
that means
You
he
sure
ain't
you
going
sure you
away.
didn't get that information for my guy Alonzo Ball? You might be
Nah,
confused.
nah, nah. It really was.
He might
It
not
really
even
was
get
Zach.
back, you know, and maybe you could
Yeah,
fit. Now, but it would
Lonzo
be
might be
great
done, bro.
if he has some chronic. That's definitely something that
You
we
gotta be
can't
scared.
sign up to, especially after having Allen Houston and even just experiencing last year. Actually,
he's
I
Allen Houston.
witnessed was Kemba Walker that the man couldn't really hold up. Imagine that's pretty much like what we get in Levine. Like it's a little scary.
For 45 million.
And it's not
Yikes.
even that. Not even that.
And losing
to
RJ.
have knee injuries. Yeah, you're losing injuries, but to have knee injuries for a guy that predominantly like is a high flyer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I could see if he was an RJ kind of guy and he had knee injuries. RJ's not as he's more of a grounded guy compared to Zach. But Zach, a lot of his buckets are he's lifting, he's taking off.
I give Zach
even for layups.
I give Zach credit though. Like his game has evolved. Like he's more than just a high flyer now. Like he's a legit sniper now, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's definitely elevated his game. But the thing about Levine is if you take away the attack of the drive, then
it could take away his shot.
Takes away the shot.
How do we get to I know I missed a little bit and I'm sorry. How do we get to the Zach Levine topic? How'd that happen?
Oh no, we were just talking about
trade talks.
Just
possible trades.
Okay, how
That's what they're saying, Zach Levine?
He's been the name that Knicks fans have been throwing out there for like 2 years.
Oh, Knicks fans.
Yeah. I don't see it anywhere else, honestly.
Right.
It's usually within the Knicks community that I see it.
I think the Knicks would probably be smart enough not to pick him up, the front office.
Yeah, I think they would. I don't know. I wouldn't say not to pick him up because it depends on what you're giving up.
I think the Knicks would have to fill.
That's probably the side that could make or break things, just like Donovan Mitchell. It was something that it was the price that we didn't want to pay, and if you don't want to take the deal that's there, Leon Rose ain't afraid to just say, but it is what it is.
That's it.
I think the Knicks are. I think if they're gonna really look at the medicals, if they even think about making that trade,
yeah, you have to, yeah.
Like, yeah, they're gonna have second, third, and fourth opinions. Like, what's this guy's status like? So, if I trust them to do their due diligence, if that's the direction they're gonna go in.
Mm-hmm. Of course, but isn't the front office being shaken up a little bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, nice segue.
That was a nice segue. Yeah.
The Scott.
That's how I know you've been doing this for a while.
Scott Perry segment of the conversation. So Scott Perry, shout out to, by the way, in the chat, Triple M is in here. He's actually the other half of Knicks Fans Wilding. He's not here today. He could,
shout out my guy, man, Triple M, man.
Go.
But
Triple M was good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Triple M.
My God.
What the Triple M stand for, Don Juan?
I don't know, but Triple M's the guy you owe 40 push-ups to because RJ had 40.
For real. You made it pretty far since then without doing the push-ups.
Right. The whole team later, like.
Hey, Dre, you gotta do the 40. Dre, do the 40 push-ups and post it on Twitter, bro. Like, you don't have no choice.
You got it. Come on.
Oh, yeah, y'all ain't see me do it. That's what it is.
No recording never happened.
I like that. He's like, I did it.
They ain't see me do it. Just because they see me don't mean if a tree go down in the forest, nobody heard it. You understand? Got 40 push-ups.
This guy is crazy. Anyway,
Scott Perry.
Scott Perry.
Yeah.
They decided and Scott Perry and the front office decided to mutually part ways. I think they hired him in 2017. He's here for about 6 years. Yeah, so 2017. He was here for a lot of the drafts that people talk about when you talk about the bad decisions the Knicks have made, and he's been here for some good ones. You know what I mean? So you get some good and bad. You get the RJ.
How do we know which decision he was behind, the good ones or the bad one?
Well, he was just there for him. We're not blaming him for any of them, but he was.
I guess we'll find out soon, huh?
I mean, actually, if we're being honest, he had more of a say in the basketball player scouting part earlier on, like in his first 2 years when it was just him and what was the other guy?
Steve Mills.
Steve Mills, yeah, the one with the haircut.
Yeah,
the haircut.
Or the non-haircut.
The non-haircut.
He should have cut that shit. Anyway,
my man had the impending Don King. That's what he had.
That guy was been with the Knicks for years, man.
But I say this though.
So far, Steve Mills, he went all through that front office, and was there for years, man.
But here's one thing. I felt like that when it comes to scouting, I felt like the Knicks got good at the scouting after World Wide West got here.
Well, I mean, for sure. I mean, that's when they changed the whole. That's when they got rid of Steve Mills. They got rid of Steve Mills. They brought in Leon Rose.
Walt Perrin.
Yeah, they
what's the Brock Aller.
They kept him there since then, and
they knew he was coming to an end, and they was like, let's just let this run out or give him another year. We can't just cut him out like that.
Yeah, because they probably in the way.
That's a fact. I mean, they gave him another contract. I felt like he was we gotta give him credit at the end of the day. Just like if we put the cons, he's responsible for some there because there was some success, whether the good or bad. I mean, there was Fizdale. We could go down that route. That Fizdale hiring was bad.
Oh man,
was that his? Was that not? I mean, we could say that for everybody. But I definitely show respect to that guy. Hopefully
I'm blaming Steve Mills for everything, bro.
Not Steve Mills.
No, I'm saying we blaming Steve Mills for.
I'm blaming anything that happened when him and Scott was both here. I'm blaming it all on Steve. Scott is absolved,
bro.
No, here's what I think happened. What I hope happens. I hope that we got a lot of basketball podcasts. Gilbert Arenas. You got all the smoke. Everybody talking. I just hope one of these dudes go on one of these shows and let us know once and for all what they was responsible for. You know how they do like the behind the scenes. Or back at that time, this happened and that happened. I hope that's what happens if these guys, front office guys, after they get fired, maybe go to one of these shows.
But I mean, when do you think that's going to happen, though? That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Maybe not anytime soon, but at least we know. Get some closure. The Knicks fans deserve closure.
Like 10 years. Give it like 5, 10
when we win a championship.
Yeah. It'll be part of that. There'll probably be a movie out there for us when we win our chip. Talk about the story, the year.
Yo, if we win a chip, they're gonna do a movie. They're gonna have.
It's gonna be a 10-part. It's gonna be a 10-part 30 for 30. Bro. I can't wait, yo. I can't wait, yo.
It's gonna start with
30 for 30. ESPN.
Let's read everybody. It's gonna go through everybody for that.
Netflix, everything.
Netflix, all that. But shout out to Scott Perry. Listen, I never really gave him a lot of credit for what he did while he was here. I remember what team was he on before he came out? It was a West Coast team. Was it Utah? No. Sacramento. I think it was Sacramento he came from.
Yeah, it was Sacramento.
It was Sacramento he came from.
And before that it was Orlando.
Yes. Yep. That's right. So the thing with him was a lot of guys around the league had a good relationship with him. A lot of agents behind the scenes had a good relationship with him, and it had a lot to do with why it was so easy for us to work some deals out later. Because for a while we couldn't get a trade. We couldn't get a trade on draft night.
Didn't he know Mitchell Robinson's people, right?
Yes. Yep,
that was his contact.
That was him.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, relationships are big in the NBA, man. And I think when you talk about front offices and you have guys that you like Leon Rose being in the front office, if you don't think the whole league got scared when he signed up to be the Knicks president, like if you don't think that scared them, the fact that he was one of the biggest agents in the game for how many years? Like 20 years? Like that would scare me. You know what I'm saying? So I think relationships is a big thing. Worldwide West is another one. Like they're putting guys in these front offices that have those relationships with these guys, those connections. You know what I'm saying? So networking is huge. So
we picking up.
Salute, Sydney. Thank you.
He's in the chat. Oh, what up, Sydney? He says, yo, what up, fellas? Great job, guys. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Shout out to the TFE group on Facebook. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. So yeah, man, I think there's a bunch of guys out there that we probably have never heard of. If we're being honest, we know players. We don't know all these guys behind the scenes who don't even have jobs. Like there's a lot of guys who are getting picked up for these assistant jobs that I'm like, oh shit, who the hell is he? You know what I mean? Like, and like he's about to be assistant coach in the league. Like, who's this?
Somebody homie.
Yeah, like I'm like, where does this guy come from?
You've been working on film for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like Spoelstra. And then he's just gonna pop up.
That's
and
what
be the best
Spoelstra was. Hey, it worked out.
Yeah, he's gonna pop up and be the best coach in the league for like 10 years. So sometimes it's just about who you know. I don't know who the hell they're gonna hire, but I do know that whatever they do is gonna be someone that has relationships with guys throughout the league, or they're very, very, very good at their job. Like they're not going to spend that money on anybody else besides that don't harbor those two traits, in my opinion. But I do know that. What's up?
Nah, I was gonna say, well, they could just build from within, somebody else from within, whether it's World Wide West, you know, or even what's the guy that we got from the T-Wolves? He's like a consultant. I forgot his name.
All these dudes in the front office. Nah, that he was from Utah. I forgot his name. There's so many guys. Like I said, if you don't hear them on a day-to-day basis, you're not gonna remember their names.
Yeah, so but I feel like it's gonna be from within. They're gonna give somebody that spot just because these guys are just a family. Obviously, it could be somebody else that's part of it. Yeah, Rojas.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Sydney. Sydney on his thing. Like, come on, Sid, hold on. How you know that, Sid? Like, what's going on, bro?
Yo, Sid be locked in, man.
Sid be on it, man. Sid be on it. Shout out to you.
But so, yeah, you know how the Knicks roll, man. It's all a big family, so they just gonna keep it inside. It's just a bunch of extra guys with no roles, even in behind the scenes. So I feel like they gonna get some clear titles in there and sort it out.
Well, speaking of family, we know that guys like Leon Rose have relationships with other guys and have had relationships with other guys for a long time. And one of those guys happens to be someone who we found out today might be waived from the Phoenix Suns, and that's Chris Paul. So if you guys don't think there's been some calls made already at this point and some things talked about behind the scenes, like, don't get me wrong, he's not going to replace Jalen. That's not going to happen. But could we really see Chris Paul embrace his first bench role on his squad? Like, is he at that point in his career, 37, 38, where you can embrace that? And would you guys be okay with that?
If he wanted to come in and come off the bench as the backup point guard, I would welcome him with open arms. Matter of fact, I'll go pick him up from Phoenix.
I'll walk to Phoenix.
Actually, somebody else brought this up. I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, yeah, he definitely is somebody that understands the game. But again, it seems like he's always injured in the postseason when it really matters. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe what if he playing 25 minutes a game, maybe that'll preserve him. Who knows, man?
It's possible.
I mean, or he'll be hurt like he always is because that's just who he is.
Well, if he's a backup,
I'd rather be with him than without him, though.
Right. Yeah. Well, if he's a backup, you can rest him.
Yeah.
Games, and he doesn't have to have the responsibility to play as many minutes. And that's what it is with Chris Paul. It's all about the miles that he has on his legs.
And resting players and giving them limited minutes. That's how Tibbs rolls, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, unless his name is Derrick Rose and he tells you if you play me, I'll play me again.
Yo, bro, but let's be honest, right? Like, Chris Paul only played 55 games this past season, and he still got hurt in the postseason. So,
man, Chris Paul
in
the postseason or getting injured in the postseason is just a regular thing. That's just something that's just been synonymous to his name, man. But at first I said, hell no, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was in a couple conversations like, come on, it's Chris Paul. Hell no. But that's disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful. I know he's much older. I know
he still got game though.
But it's not like he out here gonna be a starter.
Right. If that's the role, I'm taking.
Bro, look at what.
Then obviously that's gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a lot for him to even step into a role like that. But I feel like with the Knicks, especially with a guy like Brunson who could play off ball, I feel like they can implement some off ball with Jalen. Like I feel like it fits in a way where you take off some of that ball handling duties from a guy like IQ and off for Jalen some nights, and you could rotate those three guys.
I mean,
look what Kyle Lowry doing for the Heat right now.
Yeah, right. He plays a lot off ball. I mean, and Chris Paul could probably end up, wanting to play that role. But career wise, he's been a guy that just pounds the ball. So it's like, I bet. So you want to do that? You get you Jalen, who's played with Luka and been successful doing that. Right. Obviously, it's not going to be the same situation because Jalen is the number one guy. But I think if it's in those conditions, do I think he's ready to, say that for his career? Like, is he ready to do that? I feel like if he's going to do that, he's going to do that for a team that's ready to win the championship.
Ready to win, yeah.
Today,
right now, yeah. My thing about it is, I think that he can bring you a lot as a veteran. You know what I mean? I think that's what I would be open. There's a lot about the game that Chris Paul knows how to get through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing how to pick up calls from refs. He know how to run a team. Like it's certain things he could just teach guys that you kind of just want him now. Like I don't care if he starts or comes off the bench, honestly, because if he's here, to me, I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for him to be the Chris Paul. Nah, bro. I'm kind of like on some. Y'all remember what Jason Kidd was like when he was here?
Yeah.
Something like that. You know what I
mean? And Kat, remember what Dobbs was saying? How we don't really have a guy that's gonna get in somebody's face.
Yeah.
And hold people. He's exactly, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm all for bringing a guy in like that, bro. A guy that command respect.
What do you mean? Like getting his face?
What does that mean? Yeah.
What
does that mean? We don't have a guy that does.
I don't mean like fight him or anything like that, Ricky. But a guy that's gonna call you out, bro. And a guy that's gonna call you out and hold you accountable.
Oh, like a leader, you mean?
Yeah.
Like how PJ Tucker got in my man. It didn't work out ultimately, but the way PJ jumped in B air, like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, take over the game. So we need a guy I think we could use a guy like that because we got a lot of guys that lead by example.
Yeah. We don't got no guys that
we don't really have a rah guy, like a vocal leader.
I think if there's anybody who could convince Chris Paul to actually take that role, it would be Leon Rose, and only Leon Rose. I don't see, and I wouldn't think it would be about the team. It would be about Leon Rose, because if he's going to any other team, I don't see Chris Paul accepting a bench role. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And even here, it would be hard for, honestly, if we're stepping back and looking at the conversation, I don't see how Chris Paul would consider that. But
he's 38. That's why he should strongly consider it.
Right, exactly. He's 37, 38 years old, and not
you're 38. You're 38, and you just got waived, my guy.
You just got waived.
Yeah.
And you know what happens once you get waived, then you reach Kemba Walker territory.
Yeah, you should probably consider it, bro.
How many years do you have left on his contract?
No, his contract wasn't guaranteed. He had 2 years, but it was partially guaranteed. So, if I'm not mistaken, this year coming up was half guaranteed. So if they released him by, I think it was the 28th, which is there's reports that they haven't actually released him yet. They're trying to trade him. They're trying to work out a deal, but
they saying they might bring him back too. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they said they could sign him back too, but the 28th was the important date. So they say
28th of June.
28th of June, yeah. So until then, he's technically still on their roster. But I don't see nobody trading for him. But like I said, his contract next year is not guaranteed at all. So it could be some team, just trying to make numbers, right? Probably clear some cap
space.
I guess some cap space and whatnot. So I can see that happening.
Man,
I don't know.
It's a lot of math.
Wow.
It's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of basketball left to play. There's a lot of we still got the draft that's coming up. Trades will be made during draft night, and that can change some things up for them. So nothing's set in stone right now. But it's this is about the time of the year where things get shaky. We didn't have anyone, like I said, all year. We were like, oh, who's the star we're gonna trade for? Who's this guy? Who's this? And this is how it happens. It starts like this. You know what I mean? Towards the end of the season, teams reevaluate where they are, how much money they're willing to spend on a certain guys because they realize the direction they're in. Like, I don't think Phoenix makes this move if
they have something lined up.
No, I mean, I don't think they make this move if they had KD. If they didn't have KD, because I feel like when KD went there, that the the window changed. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity changed. Sure. So I just think that it's unfortunate for Chris because now, like, if you do get waived, like that is on your record, and once you get waived, like you are automatically like no longer.
Because teams is calling up asking like, "Yo, why y'all waived him?"
Yeah, like so it's pretty much
Well, Chris Paul is a little more obvious though, because I felt like
everybody knows why he's not.
Especially in the playoffs, bro. I felt like he was.
Why they waive him too? Because his performance.
Because he never played.
Has been terrible. I mean, he's just not that guy. And then for what the contract is getting paid for, you might as well, save some money and call it a day.
Yeah, ain't it sad though, bro?
It is sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Ain't it sad though? Because I was just looking at like New Orleans Hornets CP3 highlights last week.
Yeah,
like that dude, bro.
He was crazy.
That dude was different, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That dude was different.
He was supposed to get 30.
There was actually a ranking on Twitter going around that it was like, how would you rank Nash, Rose, Westbrook, and Chris Paul? Like, how would you rank those 4 point guards right there at their peak? All at their peak.
Nash, Rose, Westbrook, and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And then at the top.
At their peak, all at their peak.
Ooh, if we're talking about their peak, I'm not gonna lie, man. I have to.
Rose got to be number one, right?
Nah.
No.
CP3
CP3 at their peak.
I agree, man.
I think CP3, but I think he was,
but I mean,
if you look at the numbers that CP3 was putting up, bro, and I even take it a step further. At their peak, bro, you gotta take a long look at Westbrook too, because he was doing some silliness, bro.
Absolutely.
He was.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, more like Chris Paul in those days, he wasn't just an offensive player. Like he could make stops. He played defense. He was all over the place, bro. Like that's not a guy that you can overlook at all.
He's a special player, bro.
Very special player. I mean, to the point, he was the guy that was like, it was him and Darren Williams. Those were the two guards that you were talking about at that time. Like, there was nobody else.
Yeah, when we all log off, just pull up a CP3 mixtape, Tell me I'm crazy, bro.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I was watching one a couple of weeks ago, and then I saw the one where he dunked on Dwight Howard.
Yes, I remember that.
Sydney, I agree with you. Like, I might think about switching CP3 and Westbrook, but I understand why you put Westbrook second. Westbrook had a crazy run, at his peak,
Shout out to
silly run.
Shout out to Chris LeBron, my guy. Gotta have you back on again, my guy. Gotta have you back on. Sydney says
coming up too, man.
Yeah, man.
He gonna drop some goodies. I know Knicks got no picks, but
we could pick some guys up.
We might do something. You never know with this front office, man. They get tricky around this time of year.
They usually do. That's another thing that I was worried about. I'm like, when they said we don't have any picks, I'm like, we're gonna pick somebody. Like, we're probably gonna get a second rounder, but somebody that we scouted and was like, all right, he's worth us getting a second round pick for this guy. And that's
we're gonna trade Trevor Keels and the draft rights to Jokic or some bullshit.
Hold on. Have you seen Trevor Keels recently?
Nah.
My man lost madly.
Yeah.
He lost
like sick or like healthy?
No, healthy. Like you could tell he'd been in the gym. Like just
what y'all think of?
Hey,
what y'all think of Sydney list?
Sydney says Nash, then Westbrook, CP3, then Rose. I'm not mad at you with that.
I'm not mad at the list. With
me and Nash, I would have put Nash second. Only reason why I'm putting Westbrook third is because Westbrook got a lot of turnovers. Even when
he did turn the ball over a lot.
Yeah, he was averaging triple doubles. He probably averaged like 4 or 5 turnovers a game. So
and I feel like even efficiency wasn't up there either, you know. So
right.
It was
his peak was just so silly though.
No, it was.
Just
we never saw something like that.
Right, yeah. Like that was crazy.
Like we never seen no shit. Like it was absurd, bro. Like when people was talking about like Oscar Robinson, you know, none of us never really got to see the Big O play. Like that's our Big O, bro. Like the peak that he had was just absurd, bro. That MVP year, silly, bro. Yo, he had so many. Yo, he had so many clutch baskets, yo. So many game-winning shots.
He was killing shit that year. He was killing
ridiculous.
Shit. I mean, and then when you talk about Rose, like I remember me and Dre used to have these conversations about Derrick Rose all the time because that was when he was on another level. Like Derrick
Rose at one point was my favorite player.
Yeah, he was insane. That dude,
he had commercials, he had them kicks. That boy was on
fire. I feel like he was a lot of people's favorite player, bro. I feel like
then he hurt his knee.
It was something about him that I felt like everybody liked him. You know?
Yeah, I don't think
that's a rival, but he just played with heart. And
he was quiet to himself.
Even in college, he was a superstar coming out of college as well. So it was just like you root for guys like that, man. Just unfortunate that the injury. That injury came through. I mean, and then how life works. He's been a Knick twice in his career, and
right.
You know, he's played some. He's been with us in the ups and downs, but he's played a vital role in turning the organization around.
And it's crazy too. It's so dope that like we all know what happened. Like his first stint here, the fact that he was able to come back and like win New York back over. I think it's a dope story.
Yeah, I think the thing with Derrick Rose, I actually saw I guess a little picture somebody put together. I hate when I sound old and I say like, yeah, somebody put a picture together. I'm trying to anyway. Damn, so I had the word right there and this is gone. Anyway, somebody put like a little piece of artwork together, and it was like just collage. Yes, collage.
There you go.
There you go.
I know what he was talking about. He was like a piece of artwork.
I'm like, bro, what is the name of it? What is the phone box thing called? Anything. So they had the clip of where, you know, the quote where Derrick Rose was saying when it was, I think it was Melo, him, Porzingis, and who else was on the cover?
Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah. He was like, they're saying us and Golden State is super teams, and I'm like, damn, like y'all really brought that back. Like,
yeah, that did not.
I was trying to forget that he said that. Like,
that did not work out, bro.
That did not work out well at all, bro. That was terrible. My man said they're saying us and Golden State is a super team. My man took off mid-season. No one could find them. Like, that was crazy. I can't believe we went through that.
Joakim was washed. Derrick Rose was a shell of himself. And it was just like, and I think what we were thinking, right, was like, okay, you can get these two guys, right? They still got some juice left in the tank. Throw Melo in the mix, right? And like, we got something.
Yeah.
But nah.
Because if you had Melo already, and then it worked with Kurt Thomas, Rasheed Wallace, Jason Kidd, all these old dudes, why won't it work with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, right? And then
that was the thought process.
That was the thought process,
man. Phil Jackson, man.
And then now you see why. And then when I looked at the collage, I sat there and I was just thinking about the plays,
artwork,
the little piece of artwork. I sat there and thought about the plays that they were running, and I'm like, yo, that was the slowest offense in the NBA by far. Like, it was terrible to watch. They were trying to run triangle with Melo.
The hexagon offense.
Yeah, like what do we? Jeff Hornacek came in there and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep running this." I'm like, "Yo, this guy's a puppet." It was it was a freak show.
Yeah, well, they bought in Jeff because they knew that Jeff was gonna do whatever Jeff was told.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually felt bad for Jeff in the sense of like, I know a lot of people wrote Jeff wasn't the coach of the Knicks, bro.
He wasn't. But it did ruin his career though.
It definitely
did.
It ruined his career.
Has he been back? I mean, he was a coach of the Suns. Had a good run there.
Career suicide, bro.
I haven't seen him since. Wow.
It was literal career suicide. Yeah.
Y'all gonna pay me for this? Because I know I ain't gonna get a job at
I mean, you can, but that's been every coach that Phil Jackson put on the spot.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher, he was so bad he had to go to the WNBA to flip the narrative. Like,
Kurt even got
a couple championships.
He did win a couple championships over there.
So he definitely changed the story.
Hold on.
Now,
Derek Fisher won championships in the WNBA.
I think he won at least one or two.
I know he has one.
As a coach, bro.
As a coach.
Yo, that's how you know media is crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't coaching the.
Why doesn't anybody know this? Why does nobody know this?
That's crazy.
Because it's the WNBA, bro.
Yeah,
it's the WNBA.
That's great.
I'm not gonna lie. I got all eyes on the Liberty this year, bro. Because Brianna Stewart, bro, and Ionescu.
Nah, they got
like that's worth watching,
yo. She had like 45 points the other game.
I think her first game with the Liberty, she had 40 something.
Bro, nah. That's what you need in New York. You kind of gotta have somebody to put those stats up. And that's what you want. Hold on, I just got a notification on my phone. Nikola Jokic has the first 30, 20, and 10 game in NBA Finals history.
Wow.
Yes, he does.
Wow.
That dude is a monster,
bro.
Yep.
Yeah, this game over though.
3.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
What is the game look like right now? What does it look? Oh,
it's 99-83.
983. Oh, it's over.
Well, like what?
Yeah, it's over.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yo, Miami only turned the ball over 4 times this entire game, and they're down by.
And they still lost by 16. That's
15.
Probably not enough free throws. Well, let's not get into that conversation.
Yeah, can we talk about Jamal Murray too, bro? Like, is it just me? Yo, go to a Liberty game, bro. Like, it's really worth it. Like, that team's serious, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a trip down there myself, man. Go to Brooklyn. They play in the Barclays now too, right?
Barclays, yeah. So you gotta go into that raggedy ass building, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yo, man, make sure you burn some sage around yourself after you walk out of there.
Some Kyrie shit.
Yeah, burn sage in the building like Kyrie.
Yo, but I don't know, man. I forgot what we were talking about.
You gotta get to Julius at some point.
No, we did talk about it. We talked about.
We talked about Joe Kim.
We didn't talk about.
We didn't talk about Julius' ankle injury.
We did. Joe, what the hell you been at? What we definitely talked
about. Nah, bro.
We had
not in detail, but we mentioned it.
Nah, because I was saying
that's
it. That Jose was gonna come in here talking about it, and that's why I was talking about his ankle.
No, but that's all we talked about, though. We ain't talk about what y'all think about it, man.
Oh, what you
think about it? What do you think about his performance in the playoffs in regards to the ankle? Like, come on, we gotta really dig deep here, fellas.
Okay.
And we have 42 minutes, so we gotta make it quick.
I'm trying to skim over the Julius Randle topic.
Nah, we can't, bro.
I know how our-ish Julius Randle topics can go, but.
we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
You insist.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
how do you feel about it? I guess is the first question, right?
I feel like maybe I was a little bit too hard on Julius. I need to ease up on Julius.
Yeah.
Right. I need to ease up on Julius because hell no. You see what I'm saying? Like there were certain things I just remembered why I was mad at Julius. I came on here and I told y'all I was not mad at him for the offensive production or the defensive production. I was mad at the effort. All of the times throughout the series, the last 2 series that the only 2 series we're in. And there was too many plays where he just let guys go. And this is before the ankle injury and after.
Yeah.
Where he's just letting guys go up. I seen it in the Cleveland series and I saw it in the Miami series. And that, like I said, that was my issue. My issue is not can he score? Can he play defense? I know he can do all of this stuff. Like that's just me personally. I know he can do it. But my thing is the effort every play. Like I don't care if you might pick up a foul. Like stop letting guys go up for uncontested layups and dunks at the basket in the playoffs. Like that bothered me. So I ended it by saying that I'm hard on Julius because I know how good he can be. And I think that's what frustrates us about Julius is that you see how good he can be from game to game and then how shitty he can be from game to game sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's usually not about how well or bad or bad he's playing. It's usually the effort. Because if the effort's there, he has shitty games that look great because he's putting in the effort.
Yeah.
So it's like that's just me. So I don't want to excuse the effort with the ankle injury. I know that, like, I give him credit for going out there and playing on the ankle injury, but in a closeout game when you take 14 shots, and 11 of them are outside of the paint, and you only took 3 shots in the paint,
bro.
I can't get past that. I just can't get past that. Like when I hear those numbers, it makes me cringe.
As soon as we came on, bro. As soon as we came on after the game, I pulled up his shot chart, bro, and I was just like, yo, didn't I? Yes. I was like, yo, listen. I was like, listen to this shot chart, yo. So that shot chart tells me that he was hampered by something.
Yes.
Does he get a pass?
No.
I don't want to say I'm gonna give him a pass,
but we understand.
But I do understand. I do wish that. I do think that he used the injury not as an excuse, but as a crutch a little bit. Mm-hmm. I just wish we could have got a little bit more out of him, man.
Yeah.
And I wish. I wish he wasn't hurt. Like the guy was healthy all year. He's been healthy pretty much since he's been a Knick. It just sucked to see his season ultimately kind of end like that. Like his season ended the first ankle injury, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
And then he had the fall in game 2 against Cleveland, and then another ankle injury. Like a lot of shit happened to him those last 4 weeks, I want to say. That it was just like, yeah, man. I don't know. It just sucked. It sucked the same way it sucked to see RJ shoot 1 for 10 in game 6, in the same way it sucked to see Brunson turn the ball over like that on that last play.
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
Y'all gotta rock, paper, scissors. Y'all gotta rock, paper, scissors for that.
Oh, my bad.
Drake got that one. I ain't gonna front. He got that one.
So they had this thing where Gilbert Arenas got to join a podcast now, so I check it out here and there. Mostly the shorts on YouTube.
Right.
And Kenyon Martin was talking about Julius Randle, and he got in trouble, a little bit of hot water. He said something about Julius Randle kissing his wife and his son. What y'all think about that?
We talked about that here.
What do you think about that? I missed it because I've been working.
See, I don't understand why he can't kiss his wife and his son.
No. Because, like I said, people are going to harp on that fact, and that's not what he was trying to say.
He's saying he wasn't with the fellas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're also talking about a guy who played in the league. You know what I mean? So I understand what he was trying to say, but he used a very, very touchy subject to push that example. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So what he was talking about was when they won game 2, I believe, versus Miami. The first thing they said Julius Randle did was he went over and he hugged and kissed his wife and kissed his son. So I understand where he's coming from with that aspect, but I don't see it could have been anyone. It could have been his cousin. It could have been anybody. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care who it was. I don't think there's anything wrong with you hugging and giving your wife and son a kiss. But I do think there is something that when you guys win a tough game and you guys did this shit together as a unit, and the first thing you do is part off from the team to do that. Like I said, I don't care who it was. I don't care that he went to kiss his wife. It's just the simple action of him parting from the team to go do another action.
He's a weird dude though, bro.
He is.
I think y'all looking at it wrong. And I'm not of the mindset to trade Randle. I actually like him. I think he put the team on his back in a time where we really needed him to, and really rose the value of our wins. But
I agree with that. I'll say this. In the team, the franchise in general.
Yeah. And I'll say this: we all know that Julius Randle is struggling with some type of issue, mental, whatever.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
If his center is his wife and his son, and that's what keeps him grounded, do what you gotta do.
Right.
We don't know what's going on in that man's life, but we do know that we saw him struggle and then come back from that struggle. Who knows what he had to do in order to do that? Man, I think we're being super hard on him for a man.
And he said,
I feel like put the entire team on his back and played through injury and tried his. I can't say he tried his best. I don't really know, what his level was, but and to your point, he did fall on defense at some points. But as far as all those other things, like even though he's Kenyon Martin is a player and he played in the league or whatever. Like you don't know what's going through another man and what he needs to do in order to make it through the day. So I think we're being hard. I think we're trying to pick at every little thing in order to say, oh, that's the reason why. Let him be. Let him be. People were doubting his injury and his toughness. Like he hurt his ankle like twice in a row. He sat out a couple of games and then he missed that first game, which I know was killing him. And then he came back and said, I think people are just being like really, really hard on him.
I agree.
And that's what I'll say.
Hey, but there's been Julius Randle for most of his career with the Knicks. I feel like Knicks fans kind of deciphering how he feels or why he did this or why he did that.
All the time.
Reading off of body language when maybe we're just reading his body language wrong. Like maybe this is not who y'all think y'all painting this picture for him like he's that as like the worst guy, worst teammate. But when you actually hear basketball players talk about ball, they speak highly of Julius Randle. So and that's just been the narrative. A lot of people run with it, obviously. And then sometimes you could blame him for it as well. There's times that he shoots himself out. But at the same time, he's been the number one guy. We pretty much lived with him, died with him type of situation up until Brunson came on the team, and then now it was a little different. But that also took some time to develop within the team because this was their first year of kind of trying that out and seeing who's really gonna take control. And Brunson didn't do that till halfway through the season. Really, I felt like until the conversation of All-Star started like heating up is when he turned it up. But Randle at the end of the day, like. It's too much. It's too much, man. I know it's New York and the media and there's a big fan base and whatnot. But we gotta lighten up on him, man. And going into the whole thing of him and getting hurt, man. He got hurt twice. He went into the playoff hurt already, man. Like this is the thing, man. He just played his role because at the end of the day, the team's got to defend him. That's why I truly believe, people gonna say a lot of people. I wouldn't say a lot. I think people actually realize the value that Randle brought in that Cleveland series. Yeah, because the man needs 100%. The man needs to get defended no matter.
He has gravity, bro.
You have to have.
It was double teaming him, and he opened it up for players to either drive.
Absolutely.
So to say that because you was just looking at the box score at the end of the game, like, damn, he played terrible. No, there's a lot of things that happen around him because he is the gravity pull on our team, and we used it. We used it to our advantage. Against the Heat, on the other hand, the Heat played it different. The Heat were like, he's hurt. Let's make him play. Let's make him play defense. Let's force him to become a shooter. I also think he forced himself to become a shooter too, because especially after the second time getting hurt, he wasn't trying to drive. He wasn't.
Yeah, he became strictly a jump shooter.
He wanted to be in the game no matter what, even if he was like, all right, I won't even jump and contest this shot because I don't want to land on somebody's foot again. Right. That could really be bad. Sometimes you could sprain your ankle, but there might be a little fracture in there that you just don't know about. You keep playing with that, man. God forbid, you could really break it even worse.
Yeah, you can mess something up.
And what about the mental of you coming down wrong again? Like it's in the back of your mind because you're still recovering from an injury that was similar. So it's a lot.
Well, let's be real. How often do people get ankle surgery for a sprained ankle?
That shit ended.
It doesn't happen. You got a little boot, and
you see what it did.
Usually, you put a boot on, and that's it. But
you see what it did to Grant Hill career, bro.
Right? Yeah. You actually,
I always said that Grant Hill would be mentioned up there with Jordan and Kobe and them if he ain't get injured like that, because his injury was bad.
No, Grant Hill was
ill.
He was different.
He was
he was just different. But with the Julius Randle situation, I do know that I am definitely very hard.
But it was his foot. Sorry, Grant Hill.
Yeah, that was.
I thought it wasn't an ankle.
It was a foot.
It was his foot. Yeah. It was some bone in his foot that I think some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yo, Ricky.
Yo,
Ricky. And to further like expand upon what you were saying too, like Julius said, if y'all remember, like how he was miserable during the offseason, right? And it was Kendra who was like, dude, you can't spend your whole summer like this.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, she got him up out of the house because he wasn't doing shit. He was just moping, and they went on a vacation. Yeah, they went on a trip, and she was the one that lifted him out of whatever dark place he was in, because he was in a really dark place last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was the one that pulled him out of that. So can I be mad at this guy, like Juan said, for going and kissing his wife?
I mean,
what's that?
So I wonder what a dark place is for an NBA player.
Yo, man, like
you never know, man.
I mean, well, let's
got some money. Obviously, it could change your life, but I felt like
everybody deal with shit. Yeah,
not even
everybody deal with shit.
No, not even all that.
We don't do it in the public eye.
He's failed in New York. Like,
has he failed though?
Well,
two-time All NBA.
He's not failed. He's had blunders in New York as a star in New York. So
yeah.
that alone will give you some kind of mental condition with all of these damn things.
Without expectations too.
If you're on
people have like this expectation for him.
Yeah, Knicks fans gotta chill, yeah.
Yeah,
you gotta actually.
They won't
realize who he is. The type of player he is.
Yeah, you can send somebody into depression like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. Jokic and Murray combined for 66. Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, Murray is he's elite to me, bro. Like he's showing me something.
Oh, they played Haslam? Oh, it's over when Haslam.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, they passed him in with like 29 seconds left.
Yeah.
I think this is last season. So
Haslam. They look at the
this is last season. Yeah, this is last season.
Haslam was 36. You want? All right.
Haslam is like 40 seconds.
Matter of fact, I think Butler is a fraud. I don't think Butler's a fraud. Oh, he laughed.
Udonis was like, I'll take the weight off Jimmy for these last 30 seconds.
Let Jimmy rest up.
I got it. I'll take that.
I forgot what game
I'm the closer.
The whole crowd. I think it might have been last series.
Dobbs, what's good, baby?
Shout out to you, Dobbs.
The hat whisperer in the building.
I think it was in the
Celtics
series. And
Foamy Starks.
Huh?
Said Foamy Starks.
Oh, Foamy Starks.
You know who Foamy Starks is.
Oh, Foamy Starks. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was the Celtics versus the Heat, and I think it was maybe like 2 minutes left, and they were like smoking them. Oh, it was the last game, I think, or what game was it that they beat the Celtics like 30? Might have been the game before that last one. I think it was the second. I think it was.
It's probably game.
Last game
they lost the last three before.
Yeah, because they won. Yeah, exactly. So it had to be the last game.
Last game.
And the whole Miami crowd was sitting there like, we won. Yeah, Haslam.
Oh yeah.
So, Haslam was trying to like he had his elbows and his knees, and he was trying not to look at the coach. The coach kept looking down at him like this, and he was like, he didn't want to look at all. Like he didn't want to make no eye contact with the coach, because for a fact he'd have smiled at him, and he wouldn't have had no choice but to go in.
But to get in,
he probably was like, "Nah, I ain't getting in there right now. My back hurt. I'm good. I'm chilling." But anyway, just to wrap it back up, to bring it back to a close. The last thing I just wanted to shout out to my guy Jalen Brunson for being selected as one of the Team USA players. I think what happened? What I missed? Oh, yo. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I looked at the screen, and when I saw his head,
I was gonna ask what happened.
Oh man,
he said I got a kindergarten eraser on top of his head. It's crazy because like my kids had like 20 pencils. Every single last one of them, they chewed the erasers off, and that's exactly what it looked like. It looked just like that, bro. But who, to Udonis?
Yeah, why does his hair look like that?
Bunch of balls. Yo, just let it go. Like, man, I'm like, yo, cut that shit, bro. What are you doing?
No, that's not like any type of pattern. That's like Like somebody threw bleach on him or something, and then just
yo, we not gonna do this to you.
Leave UD alone, bro.
We're not gonna do this to you.
I'm not
trying to send the man into depression. He already dealing with enough.
I'm not coming for him. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. I just need an explanation.
Age. That's age, man.
I'm just trying to figure out what happened.
That's wisdom. Let's go with wisdom.
Nah, bro. Wisdom is gray hairs, man. That's
that's patchy.
Something else.
Yeah, that's different. Y'all remember that video of the dude from Philly? His name was Patch. Y'all remember that? I got it. I'll bring it up. It was mad funny. It was this dude who walked around. He literally had patches all in his head. And he was from Philly. And he was like, "You don't know me? My name Patch." I was like, "What?" Get up out of here. But anyway, he said, "Nah, that's not a ball spot. That should look like a scary movie finger, yo."
Oh man,
yo, all right, we gonna chill on Udonis, bro, because Udonis. Don't mistake Udonis for anybody who don't got smoke somewhere tucked in his sleeve, bro. He got smoke somewhere, bro.
Udonis like that dude from White Man Can't Jump. Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back. Shoot all you niggas.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Go get my gun. Shoot all you motherfuckers.
Shout out to my man, Mothering Podcast. What's going on?
What's good, man? Salute, bro.
Salute to you, my guy. So yeah, man, Jalen Brunson on Team USA with Mikal Bridges. Of course, he's his man's. That's his homie. Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bobby Portis, and Austin Reeves. There's only 8 guys. It's not gonna be more than that.
No, they'll add some more.
They'll add some more at some point, right?
I think it's 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So 4 more spots. Yeah, they're gonna need some superstars on there. At least give me one. It's not one. There's not one on that list. I mean, besides for Jalen Brunson. But anyway, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to correct you too, because let me tell you, bruh, that dude, he solidified himself after that playoff.
Nah, bro, and that's another thing that I do want to come back and do, because we didn't really give him on that last show. We didn't really get to give him a lot of credit for what he did single-handedly this season. Like Jalen Brunson, took over this team and just made them follow him. It's his team. Like you said earlier, Joe. We don't have many vocal leaders, but he's the best guy that leads by example on this team by far. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, but ain't it crazy what happens when you get top end talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Julius came, right, and he kind of ascended the Knicks to a certain level, but it was only so far that he could get this team on his own. And then we get this other guy now, and then just boom.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's next.
What's next? Yeah.
Maybe some internal growth. Maybe RJ, that version of RJ, that playoff RJ that we seen,
that we all been waiting for.
Yeah. If that playoff RJ, not the one for 10 in Game 6 RJ, but the guy who for 7 straight games before that. If we get that guy next year, bro, that guy that made all of the passes, the right passes, finished around the rim, hit his floaters, hit some mid-range jump shots. We get that guy next year, that's another level the team could go.
Right.
I think with RJ, he has I like the fact that there's things about basketball, the way I look at ball, it's a talent thing, and there's also your drive. And
Dre don't like RJ, he tipped out.
Yeah, of course. He covers all angles, all bases when it comes to your drive. I just want him to, fine tune.
You wanted to manifest on the court, bro.
Yeah,
that he's working.
I know he's working.
Yeah.
I know, like you said, for 7 straight games in the playoffs, the guy was. If we didn't have that guy, we wouldn't have got to where we got to.
Facts. We
you know
needed
what
his
I'm saying?
contribution.
We're talking about Julius Randle. Without that RJ Barrett that we had in the playoffs, to be honest with y'all, yo, that is what matters to me. When I see guys show up in the playoffs, I don't care what you've done all season long. If you can show up in the playoffs, that's what matters to me. That's how you get your money. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing orange and blue, especially.
Wearing orange and blue, not faltering.
The heaviest jersey in the league. And you come out and do what he did in the postseason, definitely something to build on.
Especially someone who was everyone wanted to throw in every trade scenario going forward, which because of what they saw on the court, which I don't want us to forget about. Like I said, that other side of things where mentally he has it figured out. I just think the guy just needs to stay in the gym and just work on his pull up, and that's pretty much it, bro. Like if RJ can give me and his free throws,
it's gotten better though.
A lot better this year.
He shot 71%, bro. He gotta be better than that.
Yeah, he gotta be better. Sure. But from where he started, man, he was
we're talking about like LeBron averages. I think he's like a 78%.
I don't care what LeBron did though. I need RJ because he's not LeBron, bro. Like you could live with LeBron shooting in the 70s from the free throw line because he's a monster, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, can you? Let's be honest. If he's shooting 70s with as much as he gets to the basket, he's missing a lot of free throws.
Yeah, but he's won championships, so obviously you could live with.
He's also got sweat.
Hey, listen, man, listen. Hey, he didn't just get swept because of anything that was his fault, man. Like he was 38 years old doing everything that he could. That other guy got to show up. I'm not even gonna say that guy's name.
When you're doing this, you got to win every.
I mean, he's doing that. He's not doing that just because of what he's doing. He's doing that because of the story. LeBron is a solidified legend, man. Of course, he's gonna crown himself. You can't.
If you were doing that, you got to win every single game.
Yeah, you see what Jess said? Yes, sir, bro. I do gotta sign. that. Matter of fact, let me get a pen, yeah.
You signed it. It's just nobody saw it, right, Drake?
Right, Drake?
Yeah, exactly, right?
I think y'all 40 push-ups right now. Y'all keep talking that shit.
Come on, man. Whatever, bro. Anyway.
Yes, sir, bro. I definitely gotta sign. I gotta fill that out, bro.
You gotta sign that RJ apology, though. I ain't forget all that quickly talk before, because we had.
You know what I think about LeBron?
What?
I think LeBron knows he's not
talk
going
about it.
I think LeBron knows he's not going with another one, which is why he wanted that scoring title and why he wanted to pad it. He want to create more. I think he want to get to 40,000 at least another season. Because I don't know how many points he got, but he ain't got 40,000. I think he want to get that 40,000 to be up there because he knows that's the one to hang his hat on right there. For sure.
He'll be the only player ever to score 40,000.
Well, that'll be the last one. I mean, he got MVPs, championship, finals MVPs. He got it all.
He can get more championships, but that ain't happening.
Hey, Jess, man. Hey, Jess, you win, bro.
LeBron really had to sell out to win another one.
I think LeBron really thought he was going to win a championship this year, though. If you ask me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Halfway through that series. Yeah, halfway through that series, I thought LA could take that series.
Yeah. Let me ask you something.
I thought that they would.
Did you think the league
it was the smallest margin? It was the smallest margin of a sweep, right? In NBA history.
Yep.
Didn't they get swept by wasn't it like a -19 in that series or something like that?
Yeah, they barely won every game.
So let me ask you this: do you think the league is on notice when you got teams like Denver, who don't really have anybody, or Miami, who don't really have anybody? You think the team is on notice?
What you mean now?
Seems like,
I mean, Denver don't have nobody.
You got Jokic. You got what's his name?
You talking about stars?
He's so like superstars, you can say
they got a 2-time MVP.
Yeah, that's it. But just like Miami got Jimmy Butler, and then outside of that, you got
you. Yeah. That is not like with your Warriors or your Miami Heat.
I disagree, bro. I think Jamal Murray showing y'all that he's legit.
No. He got Jamal Murray. Okay, you got those two, but they the number 1 seed in the West, right? And then who they got? Like who are we? Is it worth that? What I'm asking, Jamal Murray. Forget about it. Like. He's nice. I'm not saying he's not nice.
He's not a superstar.
Wasn't nobody looking out for no Jamal Murray across the league. Like, Jamal Murray about to go get a chip this year. Aaron Gordon is going to get a chip.
I wouldn't say that, bro. I wouldn't say that, yo. I seen what that dude did a few years ago. I know everybody talk about the bubble. We can't even talk about the bubble no more. That's been debunked.
Listen,
you see what that dude did in the bubble, bro?
He's nice. Yeah. But you was gonna say at the beginning of the season you was like Denver gonna be in the finals with fucking Jamal Murray.
Of course not, because I seen Denver. I seen Denver blow it in the playoffs so many times.
Yeah,
So,
that's why we
I'm
came
asking
here talking about the way none of us, by the way, none of us on that show, including Just, did not believe in Denver.
nah, we didn't believe in Denver at all.
The NBA now, because what I think this is what I think happened. I believe in that theory that the NBA wanted it to be LA and Boston, because I think what I'm hearing right now is that the NBA has like the lowest watching people watching the finals. Denver and Miami.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
I can't believe it, but I do believe it to a certain degree because of the markets.
Because everybody streams too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's too.
That's probably a factor. But what I'm saying is, as far as when you go get talent, because if you look at the Knicks, right?
Building a roster. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Dre.
Right. When you look at what the Knicks and how we did against Miami or whatever the case, we could have did better. And we're looking at Julius was hurt. Imagine Julius was doing well, RJ's consistent, whatever the case may be. The Knicks had a solid chance. We could have went to a game 7. It could have went either way. Whatever. It's not to say that the Knicks would be here in the finals if we did win. But we talking about dudes having dogs. We're looking at, when you look at the reason why I wanted LA to lose is because I feel like these dudes just trying to fish that. Oh, let's get all the stars together and all of this shit. And when you look, what I'm happy about the Mavericks losing, you're like, oh, we gonna go get this player and that. Yeah, we're gonna go get Kyrie and so forth and so on. And none of that shit worked. We got Miami, the number 8 seed in the East. They damn near swept the Bucks.
Yeah,
they beat Boston. You're like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, what does this do? Do you guys think this is like, huh?
2 players went down.
2 players went down and they still winning.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does this say for the league? Because I'm excited about it. Like, if it does anything.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it because to me, I thought it was corny for a while with everybody just teaming up to win. Like,
but that's been corny since LeBron went to Miami. I thought it was corny.
No,
it shows that doesn't really work.
Nah, but
that's a little different.
It's never, to me, it's always happened in the league, but to the point, to your point, it never happened the way it did when LeBron did it. Mm-hmm. So I get that point, but people have been throwing stars on teams. So I remember when the Lakers had Kobe, Shaq,
Karl Malone. That's what I was thinking. Payton. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, hold on, y'all.
But I never liked it because it was like, yo, like,
I
hate it when Karl Malone went over there.
I got to push back a little bit. On Dre, bro.
About what?
Because I'm looking at this Denver roster, bro. Like, this is a roster, yo.
They got a roster.
They got Ish Smith and DeAndre Jordan at the end of the bench. Wow.
No. What he's trying to say is having star-heavy teams to win, like projecting.
I get what you're saying. You talking about these teams that's going out. Teams that's going out trying to get a big 3. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
right.
Well, but I like Denver for that.
Yeah.
I like this whole thing. I like that it's Denver and Miami. I love that Miami. If outside of the Knicks, being a Knicks fan, I love that Miami is that. Who the fuck does Miami have, bro?
Shit, it's still hard to name everybody.
A bunch of ball players.
Yeah.
That's why they got dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what I'm hoping that this does for the NBA is that, or these GMs is like, yo, we need some dogs in here.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is what it's looking like. Because if you look at it, everybody could shoot now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You need a couple of shooters. If you need to stretch the floor, you need shooters, but you need a dog. You need people who can stay healthy. Because if you look at Miami, dudes getting hurt. Victor Oladipo, that unfortunate situation. Tyler Herro, one of your better shooters, and you still get to the finals.
Yo, why hasn't Tyler Herro played yet?
Yeah, they say he's gonna come back, but we'll
come in there and they gonna mess up the chemistry already.
Yeah,
like,
that too.
All right, so this is my thing. So then you don't play him for the rest of the
that's it.
Playoffs.
Yeah, you probably don't want to force it.
That's it.
Why would you play him?
Yeah,
because
you made it. You made it.
Right. You got all the way here without.
He brought you to the postseason, yes. But then after that, like, it was this core team that brought you through the playoffs to the finals. You're not going to throw him back in there just like that.
Right. But
it does throw the chemistry off.
It won't throw the chemistry off if you're playing him for 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have to start. That's something, you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to integrate someone back into the lineup without putting them as a starter. Mm-hmm. Now, like, when Orlando did it a few years ago, well, not a few years ago, about a decade ago at this point, when they tried to play when they lost to the Lakers.
Yeah, Ray for Austin.
And they had Ray for Austin killing, and then you bring Jameer Nelson back in, and you sit Ray for Austin, and then y'all lose. Like, what were you doing there? Like,
I feel like, you know what I hate, what I think happened in the NBA. I think the NBA and across America, we got like leadership problems.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I think that we got
I won't argue with that.
No, that's a fact.
I just think that you got a bunch of dudes who feel like they won't put this guy. You got a certain type of coach. He gonna bet. I used to love Nate Robinson. Remember we had the worst point guard ever. What's his name?
Tony
I couldn't
Douglas,
stand it. Huh?
Chris Duhon.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
We had Nate Robinson, but who we had?
Could not stand Chris Duhon.
Oh my, he was scoring better points than what's his name off the bench.
He said,
Jay said, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I swear to God, I could have went in there and did better than him. I couldn't stand that dude.
Yeah.
I was not a Duhon fan, bro. And you know who else? You know who else, right? You know who they benched, right? You don't remember who they benched?
Who?
They benched Stephon Marbury.
They benched Marbury.
Mike D'Antoni benched Stephon Marbury, bro.
This is when Nate Robinson had them 3 slam dunk championships, and this dude was dropping like 30 off the bench, 20 something off the bench. Yeah, Duhon would have like 10 points. I'm like, yo, what was his name at the coach of the Houston? Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni. I don't understand how you hire that dude as a coach.
I don't even call him by his name. I call him the mustache.
Yo, but I just this is what I feel like happens in the league. Just like even when, because I was looking at it again the other day, I'm on furlough, so I had a little extra time, and I was watching the Jordan joint, and you had like the owner was trying to disband the Bulls. They could have had 7, maybe 8 championships if the dude got out his own fucking way. Yeah. Like, what's these dudes up here? They rich, and they just feel like that. I don't know, man. You got the Lakers. LeBron went, and they got Westbrook. That ain't work, and I was so happy it ain't work. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like this. You're supposed to just get these players and you just gonna win.
Yeah, we knew that wasn't.
Yeah, the Westbrook.
Yeah, we knew that wasn't going to work.
And then he tried to. Everybody blamed Westbrook, and he became the scapegoat. And then they still didn't win.
Yeah. But you hear this talk about James? I don't know. I don't ever want James Harden to win. He don't deserve it.
Yeah, that's one dude
talking about. He going to the Suns. He's going back to Houston. The only reason he going back to Houston is because of the way they get paid. The taxes.
Yeah, he ready to coast. He probably calling it a quit.
But I heard he also got some.
Go back to where I started. Strip
I heard he
also for me already.
I heard he do got some. I heard he do got some like serious personal issues of why he wouldn't mind going back to Houston too. Yeah. Somebody was saying that they didn't even get specific, but there was a Philly guy that was saying that he does have reasons why he wouldn't mind going back there. And it's not just strip clubs and
Lil Baby is best friend and shit. It's not just that.
The big homie.
Look, these dudes is different. But I don't believe somebody like James Harden's ever gonna win unless he's just not that guy. You know what I'm saying? You see him in the playoffs, just like we look at Julius Randle.
He ain't gonna win in Houston.
Julius Randle in the playoffs, like you said, Ricky. I don't feel like he deserves to get traded based on his performance in the regular season.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But like when they talk about trading, I'm like, we got to get somebody that you know is a dog in the playoffs. You can't just trade Julius Randle. If you're gonna do it, it got to be like that makes sense. You can't just be like, oh, we get rid of him because you know what I mean. Like he gets numbers. He's a double doggy when he gets out there. Yeah. So that's something we got to keep. You know what I'm saying? Whether you make him the third option and he buys into that, or we got the right coach for all of that. Because one thing I always say, what's the coach tell? I don't know. I don't know what Tibbs is telling these dudes. But sometimes I'm like, is he telling Julius not to spin down there and get in the fucking paint and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like that's my only thing, and it's not. That's why I say it's not on Julius because it becomes a coaching thing or whatever the staff got to do. Yeah. So what I'm excited back to what my point with the NBA is we got 2 teams. I think that we can say that we knew Denver would be here because they were the number 1 seed, but nobody really expected them to be in the finals like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think. I wouldn't say nobody.
No, I didn't believe in.
Definitely didn't believe Miami was going to be up there.
But with that narrative, though, the Knicks are pretty much
close.
A building kind of like that, if you can say. You know,
right.
they take their time.
That's why this whole Steve Mills. I'm looking forward to see where this goes.
A lot of those guys on those teams, from the Nuggets to the Heat, they came up within their system. You know, Aaron Gordon was a pickup, but Michael Porter
was a good pickup.
Jamal Murray. No, and it was a good pickup, and even for him to buy in, because he was a 20 and some type of guy too in the Magic.
Yeah, he was the main guy.
To come down and kind of say, you know, I'm gonna play this role. It kind of tells you that the system that they got there is something that you can buy into.
Makes sense. I like
Mike Malone has been there for how long now? You know, and Spoelstra's been there for how long now? So it takes teams to have some type of stability where they can buy in. And that's what the Knicks are doing. And realistically, the coach has been the face, he has to kind of be that guy. Sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times we're gonna disagree with a lot of shit that Tibbs does.
Yeah.
But realistically, man, the stats are there. You might say he runs teams to the ground. He has his guys playing all out every day, no matter the matchup. But that's how important the season is. You got to win games at the end of the day.
That's their
and
job.
That's what the coach is always. That's what the coach is always going to be held accountable. After the coach gets fired, they're gonna look at but look at the record. And guess what? He has one of the best records as an NBA coach, still standing to this day.
Yeah,
so.
top 10 in win percentage in NBA history.
I think that these coaches are gonna are starting to get exposed because I feel like you could throw me in there as a coach if you're giving me stars. You got your Steve Kerrs, you got what's his name, Tyronn Lue. You got all these dudes who go in there, Rivers, all these dudes who go in there and they got stars all the time on their team. I want to see what these coaches like when they don't have these stars. Because what you talk about, Ricky? Like think about it.
Yeah, they got stars, but they still got to do the job though. If you don't have a handle on your team, yeah, absolutely. But the coach still has to. This coach still has to get all of these different personalities, all these different egos to buy into one system. So Ricky, even though they're stars, I feel like that's even harder. Because if you get a bunch of guys, what happened with Milwaukee? I'll make you great. You know what I mean?
What happened with Milwaukee with the timeout situation against Miami? That's not a personality that different. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like some of these coaches be on some bullshit sometimes.
Well, what happened with what?
With Milwaukee when they lost to the Miami with the end of the game and no calling timeouts. It's just like, did he not want to be in Milwaukee anymore? What's his name?
Mike Budenholzer.
Yo, but can I? Let's talk about that, right? A lot of coaches don't call timeout. We just seen in game 2. Malone didn't call timeout. Like, I think a lot of it is Eric Spoelstra being motherfuckers' heads too, bro. Like, I don't want to call timeout because I don't want to have to match wits with this dude. So I'd rather just let this shit rock than let him go into a timeout and set a defense. Like, nah.
I'm not gonna be able to fuck with. Yeah, you're right.
Let's push the pace. Hope we could get him a cross match, right?
I'd have fired him too.
So
you gonna match this with
how you gonna fire him after game 2?
I'm talking about the Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee coach.
You talking about Budenholzer? Bro, but a lot of coaches don't call timeouts, man. A lot of coaches don't want to face a set defense. Like, listen, bro.
That's what you're there for.
I feel like every coach got a philosophy. Some coach, 99 out of 100 times, they're going to call a timeout in that situation. And there's other coaches who are never going to call a timeout in that situation. It depends on your philosophy.
Yeah. I think that this thing is backfiring. We had all of these. Remember that year they had, what was this agreement about not getting all these players all on one team? And then it's like the contracts went up and they got all these players on one team, right? And now you got teams winning. Because I believe, I think that we all could say that the NBA wants certain teams to be in there so the NBA could make X amount of dollars, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's all about the bottom line.
Right, it's about that bottom line. So a situation like this, I don't think the NBA wants this to happen again. It's exciting for Miami and the city and so forth and so on. But they want the stars to win, right? That's what you're here for. You're here for the stars. You get James Harden out there, and you got James Harden, and you got, what's his name, the African dude. I don't know why I'm just like I'm drawing a blank.
Joel.
Yeah, all these dudes like this. This is who they supposed to win.
Yeah.
If these dudes got stars, like Miami has, like, I don't mean to say nobody, like there's nobody over there, but
nah, you're right.
This is pretty outrageous. Like the fact that they out here coming from the Knicks, they were in the play-in.
But let's be real though.
Only people that didn't believe they was gonna be here is us though. They believe that shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, they ain't even believe that shit. I don't believe they even believe that shit. I think they dogs.
Yeah, you heard what Jimmy said last year. He said we're gonna be right back here in the same position.
That is crazy, yeah.
The shit that's crazy to me is that people have these opinions about Miami as if damn near the same roster wasn't in the finals already.
Damn near the same roster.
They were already there. They were already there. I mean, minus 1 or 2 guys. Tyler Herro. What's the guy? Victor Oladipo. No, Tyler Herro was there. But he's not here this time, obviously.
Right.
But Kyle Lowry wasn't there. You know You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Also, but now that you say that, this is one of those things I always felt about there's certain players, and I remember seeing it one year when it hit me. What's my man used to play for Boston when they won? What's my man? He out the league.
Kevin Garnett.
Paul Pierce.
No.
Kevin Garnett.
Rondo.
Rajon Rondo.
I felt like Rondo after he won his chip, like you would see them the year after, they fucking around in the regular season. They just playing basketball.
Yeah, they just playing around.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs come and motherfuckers turn it up. And I believe that's what Miami is on. It was like they's out here like, all right, we could do it. This is just playing basketball.
Yo, it was literally a whole new team in the playoffs. If you look at the stats from how they played in the season, I mean, it's been
they were horrible, bro.
Like they were rate percentage wise, well, efficiency wise all around, they were literally at the bottom of the league.
So Don, how do you scout for that?
How do you scout?
Looking around in the regular season and they be like, but he's going this dude right here gonna turn up. Martin is gonna drop. They had a horrible shooting night.
Yeah, how you scout for a team that had a negative net rating in the regular season, and then all of a sudden,
and they busting that.
Crazy,
you know how you scout for that? Oh, they don't know how to score. You can let them shoot, and what they've been doing on playoffs, knocking threes,
shooting that thing, bro.
Martin, what's the deal with the Braves name? I don't even know these dudes' names.
Believe. Nah, I don't think it was by design. I don't think it was by design. But I do think they made the whole league believe that they really could not score. And they out here like one of the best teams. They gassed everybody.
But you know what?
They was like, yo, we lost this one tonight.
Their scoring percentage isn't that high, though.
Well, they didn't score tonight.
But
yeah, they look hardball a little bit.
But yo, truth be told, they didn't score a lot against the Knicks. It was the Knicks just couldn't score. That was the real problem.
They played them the best out of every team.
Yeah.
The Knicks got a bright future. I'm excited.
I'm excited, man.
You should be excited.
It's that one pickup. They got like one little thing. If they get rid of, if they get rid of certain players.
Oh man, Dre. Come on, Dre. I don't
see much of a higher ceiling for RJ. It's possible. I just don't see it. But I don't think it's his fault either, though. Don't let me. I'm not a big fan of RJ.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Okay, where we are. There were some games where if he picked it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like we could have had a better chance. But sometimes knocking down free throws, missing layups.
That series all came down to your two-time All-NBA guy not playing like a two-time All-NBA guy. That's really what it came down to.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Talk about overreactions. I'm in group chats. People are literally saying Jimmy Butler is mediocre. Like that happens.
No, he is all clutch.
Fast, bro. Like, do you see how fast people?
Can I say something about that?
Can
I say something about that?
He's mediocre now.
Can I say something about that?
Do we really have to say something?
I think Jimmy is excellent, obviously, right? But I will say this: the amount of respect that he has commanded in this postseason, fucking absurd, bro. Yeah. Outrageous. All the double teams. Crazy. And triple teams that have been sent at him, have the way the Knicks defended him, they just paid like homage almost to him. Yeah. Like you didn't have to defend that guy like that, yo.
Well, he had that one game against the Bucks, and I think that was where it changed. Like I think he scored 50
like
50.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't care what he did in that game, bro. Like you didn't have to defend this guy like that. Like you allowed the Matt Struses and the Gabe Vincents of the world and the Caleb Martins to go crazy because you're overplaying this guy.
See, you did have to throw the defense at him. Like
you have to mix it.
I don't think so, bro.
Listen, the Celtics try to play just one-on-one against them.
I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I will always stand for the philosophy that you let one guy beat you. Let him beat me. If he's that good, run him in the ground every game. I want this whole series. I want you scoring 50, Jimmy.
That's how the Heat won game 2.
Right.
They let Jokic go nuts.
Lock everybody else up. I'm not sending a double team at Jimmy Butler so he can get assists all game and just.
I agree, Juan. I agree. Right. You want to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was just way too much respect being paid.
Well, the Knicks for sure. The Knicks for sure. I felt like when Grimes was out there, sometimes you really could. Like Grimes held his own on an injured leg. So why can't he? Why can't he guard him just on a regular basis?
That reminded me too how much Grimes didn't play though. Like And this is that. Yeah, I see.
All right. Now you're going into a whole nother conversation, bro.
That's true, though.
Right.
That's true. You can't ignore that, but
we coming up on an hour and a half.
We're doing too much. Yeah, right. Exactly. We're doing too much. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we could pick this shit
45 minutes
all game long, bro. We said 45 minutes.
Yeah, we coming up on an hour and a half.
Nah, you know why? Because in the beginning, Dre, we said, yo,
45 minutes.
Don said, yo, how long we gonna go? I said, yo, we gonna aim for 45 minutes because that means we'll probably end around an hour because we know
45 minutes times 2.
I want guys. We gotta get to the fucking
45 minutes times 2.
So we dead ass double what we were supposed to do today.
Yo, come on, like my bad for on the plate.
Love, man.
Listen,
it definitely is.
Definitely, like it's been a minute. Especially to have all 4 of us on.
I feel good to be back, bro. I feel like I abandoned y'all, yo.
You was damn excited. You was talking about it all day. I was just like,
yo, I'm hyped. Yo, I'm like, yo, what time we going live tonight?
You like this one show,
yo, but still, like, the show has been spaced out though, so it feels like I missed 5 shows, even though I only missed 1.
That the playoffs really just it definitely. Spoiled us because we used to our series our season being over in April. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much it. But we actually went to round 2. So I mean,
we got to play into mid-May, fellas.
Yeah, we got to play into mid-May. So shout out to these guys for that. I mean, it's not a perfect squad, but I do love what we're doing in terms of just the development and how they're building these teams. I would like to see some changes. I don't know what changes exactly. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and talk about a trade scenario or a player that I want y'all to see. I just want to see more 3-point shooting and better defense.
We definitely need more shooting.
Yeah,
need more shooting.
Listen, Joe, you see, you asking too many questions. I don't know.
Wait, you talking about Miami? You talking about the Knicks?
No, the Knicks.
Talk about the Knicks. We need to talk about the Knicks.
I don't give a fuck what Miami shooting does.
I don't give a fuck about that. No, but like I said, the Knicks, I like what we're doing. I want to see them. If there's one thing I want to see I improve on, it's the shooting and the defense. The 3-point shooting in particular, and the defense, and the 3-point shooting defense in particular. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Like, as long I don't care who it is. I know Josh Hart has been trying to get Dante DiVincenzo over here to help with the shooting.
Really?
That's his man. Yeah, I mean they all played at Villanova together. So I mean, that's I would like that. That would be nice. But I'm not thinking about the name, like, because if you think about let's go get Dante DiVincenzo, does that sound like something that you really want?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to shoot better as a team and defend better as a team, and I'm good there. You know what I'm saying? It can get real dicey when you try to pick it apart too much. But that's pretty much all I got. But any last words, any final words from y'all? Like I said, it's been a minute since we had all 4 of us on, and then we got a guest with us too. So it's a good time. I missed y'all, man.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, do them 40, man. Stop playing, Joe. Like,
yeah, man. What's going on with that?
Let's go.
Yo, do that.
Oh, yo, right. Swing the bombs up, man. Loosen up.
Like a nigga can't do 40 push-ups.
Let me see.
Yo, post it on Twitter, bro. Post it on Twitter, bro.
All right, so everybody, Dre, 2 years ago, look, he gonna sit right back in his seat.
What's happening?
He corny for that. You know what?
I got the floor. Let me see. It's a mess in here. I can't let y'all see that.
Like that. His floor is a mess and all of that. Yo, you know what? If I didn't have shoulder surgery, I'd have did the 40 push-ups for you, Dre.
I appreciate that because I know. Hold on, let me see
some Coach Carter stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, word. Yeah. Look, he gonna go do it without us looking.
Yeah.
My camera went off.
Bro, nah, this shit broken.
Now about 39, 40. Oh, now the camera's working.
Oh, my camera good. Yo, listen, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. The chat, shout out to y'all. Toxic came here last minute. Bro. You caught us at the end, the tail end. You caught us at the tail end of it. But shout out to all y'all if you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe. If you're listening to podcast form, do me a favor, just leave us a little 5-star review and all that. But that's pretty much it, man. Don Juan, appreciate you coming out. Shout out to Triple M who couldn't make it tonight. You know what I'm saying? But we'll link something up
do this again for sure, man.
Before the season starts. So this like it's like our third time on here, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Don,
family. You family now, man. That's over. You at the barbecue.
Family. Make sure you bring drinks next time.
Yeah, you got to bring drinks to the barbecue.
That's a fact.
Word,
man. But thank you guys for having me. I mean, it's a off season hasn't even started. There's the last few days of the finals coming up on the last few weeks. Couple weeks, I think, right?
Yeah.
They be stretching out these series crazy, man.
Yeah.
Notice they be two days in between. But I'm excited. You know, we honestly don't even know what we might do this summer. I feel like every year we might, you know, I felt like the Donovan Mitchell speculations was really bubbling up all through the off season. But right now, I honestly don't know. Can't even, you know, there's talk on Twitter and the Knicks fandom, but we really don't even know where we're gonna go as a franchise right now.
Right.
But we know that we already have a base, and that was the second round this year with Jalen Brunson as an all-star for sure, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yo, Don, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Yeah, they can find us. Well, shout out to Knicks Fans Wilding, Triple M, and my guy Zebo. Zebo just joined the crew. He was our sixth man, but he's a starter, always holding it down, coming through for us, man. But you can find us at Knicks Fans Wilding on Twitter, Don Juan 411 on Twitter. You know, show us some love. Give us the subscribe on YouTube as well. We you know, it's been a while. That's why even when I told you it's the first time on the mic for myself, for Knicks Fans Wilding in general, man. It's been a couple weeks, and I miss being behind the mic, spend some Knick talk, man. But like I said before, man, it's a pleasure, and thank you guys for having me. Can't wait to enjoy the off season and spit some more game, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what we do, you know. Knicks fans, they gotta keep talking and create.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we don't create narratives, like, you know, we give our opinion, but you know, there's a lot of people that get the fans going on Twitter, and sometimes you feed off of it. You know, sometimes we feed off of it. Like, that's what makes the Twitter world, the Knicks Twitter world, go crazy too, man. But shout out those guys too, because that's how we get a rile of ourselves. I feel like, you know, everybody here, man, we say, man, these Knicks people could be a little crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie, a little crazy.
New York, man.
It's New York, right? Yeah. Listen, man. I thank all y'all for coming through. Once again, we'll set something up. And
thank you.
Why not have? Listen, you're welcome. Yeah, that's hurt. You're welcome.
Like no one's ever.
When they take off the glasses and they start doing the way. You know it's not real, like, man. Yo, but that's man. I thank y'all for like I said, another dope show. We'll set something up with the whole crew, the whole Knicks Fan Wilding crew, with the new member and all that, and we'll have some more show because there's plenty to talk about this shit. You know what I mean? This off season is gonna ramp up. Like I said, it's just getting the Chris Paul talks just started because it happened like a few hours ago. Now imagine what's gonna happen like in a couple weeks. So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all coming out, and like we always say, until next time, man. Peace,
love, and orange and blue light.
Yes, sir.